Hi, I'm Luann Worley with Rockin Book Reviews, and I'm so happy to be here with Dr. Diana Rangaves.
Perfect. You did it.
Okay, Diana, I'd like to start by letting our audience get acquainted with our authors a little bit. So tell me a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, how many siblings you had, and so forth.
I grew up in San Francisco, California. I currently live for the last 30 plus years in Santa Rosa, California, which is about 60 miles north of San Francisco in the wine country. So I did kind of relocate. I have one brother. Yeah. I have one younger brother, and my parents emigrated from Europe decades and decades ago. And
What part of Europe?
My father was from Greece and my mother's from Switzerland.
How fun.
So two different personality types, yes.
How fun. So what kind of activities did you enjoy growing up?
When I was growing up, we went for walks. There's a park in the city, Golden Gate Park in Stowe Lake. So we would go and walk around that lake and watch the swans and the ducks. And I'm a walker, so that's my hobby. Whether I have it with dogs or not.
In the background here.
Oh yeah, that's right. There is a swan on the tapestry. That's right.
That's wonderful. Okay, you're a pharmacist, an ethics professor, turned writer, and a philanthropist. What motivated you to become a pharmacist?
When I was 17, 18, I took a test that said, you know, what you're going to be or some ideas to become. And the top 5 were all in healthcare. And so I picked pharmacist because I felt that the educational value of it, I could do a lot of different things with it rather than just doing some of the other things that this test suggested. Number 1 was be a mortician. So I guess the test found that I had empathy to be a mortician, but I just couldn't be a mortician. So I became number 2, which was a pharmacist. And I never looked back. I've really enjoyed my profession.
And as an ethics professor, tell us what your curriculum is like.
Sure. I was working for a corporation for 20 plus years called Long's Drugs, and I had an opportunity to become a professor at Santa Rosa Junior College, teaching pharmacy technicians to become a profession and of that profession and to assist the pharmacist, since there's a very severe shortage in that area. And one of the things that was lacking in the curriculum was ethics, how to teach people where we get our value systems from, why it's important to maintain them, and decision making, because I had noticed over my tenure there, students were coming to me asking, well, how do I make this decision? What's the best decision? And I took that curriculum and created a book called Escape into Excellence, and used that to impart different techniques that people can use from students all the way to adults.
Diana?
Yeah.
You're going to have to back up a little bit. You froze up there and we didn't get half of what you were saying there.
Okay.
So back up to after you said the curriculum part.
Okay. So I noticed.
You're still kind of freezing.
Okay. Sorry, I don't know what to do about it.
Okay.
Is it
just so we don't lose, because we lost all your yours. It's okay if it comes up a little bit, but we lost that whole section of what you said.
Okay. I'll repeat it.
So after the decision making and so forth, then repeat what you said.
Okay. So I noticed in the curriculum that there was a lacking of teaching students and people ethics and where our value system comes from and how to make ethical decisions. So I took that material and wrote a book called Escape into Excellence. It's a workbook, and it teaches people how to make decisions in the highest level of integrity for positive outcomes. And that's how it got started. It started with student questions, and there was a need.
So I had not heard of that before. Is that a curriculum class for that college, or do most universities have that?
Well, most universities have some sort of a critical thinking and ethics course.
Right.
This one, we implemented that, and then I implemented the textbook so that it was a good fit.
I think that's excellent. I think it's badly needed. So,
Every generation needs a way to be engaged like this. Yes.
so I think it's something we need in our society very much. Okay. Where did the inspiration come to begin writing?
Well, you know, I always was writing. We all do book reports when we were in grammar school. And that's how I started writing. And then the writing carried me through college and pharmacy school and writing academic papers and different things. So I kept in touch with it. And then when my career path changed from a pharmacist to the tenured professor to writing now, I do content writing through clinical consultant services and DianaRangaves.com. Those are my two businesses. And I've been doing that now for about a decade. And writing books and putting them in front of publishers, traditional publishers. And I've been fortunate enough to have 3 published. And there are other ideas in my third incarnation of, I hate the word retirement, because now you're doing so many other projects that are more heart projects. And the money from, or the royalties from Escape into Excellence series go to Santa Rosa Junior College Foundation to further people's education. And then I noticed that there was a need for children between the ages of 0 and 8 for parents to have a unique teaching tool, because every half generation we need something new that engages children. So I wrote the Rosie Posey Value series, and it's to teach children values, and the first book is friendship.
I think it's adorable.
Thank you. And the royalties for that go to Pap Haven Rescue, which is a national charity organization that rescues papillons. So these are my heart projects, giving back to, you know, a particular charity that the book encompasses.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's wonderful. Now you told us about your first book, your second book. Tell us a little bit about it.
The second book is Embrace Your Excellence. I'm also was a clinical pharmacist in behavioral and mental health. And it's very difficult to explain to a 12-year-old while their sibling is in the hospital having a major depressive disorder, or even to the parents. So I wrote a very simple book that explains neurotransmitters in a very unique fashion, making them superheroes. And that one is Seeking a Home. I'm looking for a publisher for that one. And anyone out there who's interested, you can go to my website, DianaRangaves.com, click for publishers, and you'll see the manuscripts that I have that are completed and the ones that are in progress.
Super. Okay. So now Rosie Posey is going to become a series.
I'm hoping so, yes.
Do you have any ideas of what future books will be like?
Yes, the first one, there are 12 altogether. The first one is Friendship. That one's out right now. I'm trying to leverage it to sell a lot of books, to make a lot of money for the charity, and then use that to leverage a traditional publisher to pick up the rest of the 11. All of the second one is called Acceptance. That manuscript is done, waiting for a home. And that's about Rosie Posey and her friends and Toby, an autistic little boy. And they get into an adventure, and it teaches the readers about accepting you, accepting other people, and diversity. And if someone goes to my website, rosieposey.club, you'll see, because Rosie Posey and her friends have a website, and you'll see the names of the others in the series that are in completed or in draft form.
Oh, fun. So what do you hope to accomplish with these books for children?
To get Rosie Posey a licensing deal so that the charity has a revenue stream to continue saving. They've already saved over 2,000 papillons. And to create a revenue stream for the publisher, whoever that will be, and the publicists. I do not mind other people making a revenue stream out of my ideas. I have reached a point where I have enough, and it's just fun to do this creative work. And I'm hoping someone will understand that and want to support this endeavor, because it's a heart project. And we all need those. We all need those to be creative.
So what other, do you have any other plans in the near future in your writing?
Well, this is Rosie Posey. Okay. This is the real
she
dog.
is adorable.
And she has real friends. I live on a farm, and so I rescue animals. And I have a retirement kind of farm for wayward pasture pets. And she inspired the first book. She was rescued. I was a foster mom, but I failed at that because I adopted her. And so she's the one who inspired the book. And I'm hoping that it will garner interest. I'm working on a suspense thriller novel now. It's in progress. It's called The Ethical Hacker Academia. And it involves a system in place at a college campus and what goes on in the college campus, and being in a position where, do you speak up? Do you not speak up? It's The Ethical Hacker, and it ties in ethics and my teaching there and all these little shenanigans that unfortunately happen in different systems. And it's my debut suspense thriller. And then the second book is also in the series. It's called Ethical Hacker, The Verdict. And I'm also working on that too. They kind of go in tandem, because when you're writing,
exciting.
Your brain goes back and forth.
So you've got a book for all ages.
Absolutely, because I don't want to be boxed in. I need my brain to keep busy, and I don't like being locked into one genre and then just keep reproducing the template. That gets boring.
So do you have a projected date on your first suspense thriller?
No, I don't. I have it mostly completed. The reason is because any editor, any writer out there knows any editor or publishing company will take the manuscript and rework it. And I'm totally fine with that. When the Excellent series was published by Cognella, they had an editor go through and do all these track changes. And the editor said, don't you want to go through my track changes? And I said, no, I trust you. This is your field. So I just clicked accept. And there were some questions which we talked about. But for the most part, you have to trust the professionals. And I'm a professional in different aspects, but you have to be able to understand and acknowledge that you cannot be an expert in everything, but you can have a team that is. You can create a team.
I think that is the epitome of a great leader, that who can accept others'
yes
specialties.
You're right. You're right. You're right. And it empowers people, it encourages them, and it engages them.
My husband had over 300 individuals working under him at one time. Well, more than that later, but this particular time, when he was promoted into a higher level, they all insisted on throwing an overnight camping trip to honor him and say goodbye to him. And that's what thing I got over and over by the people who worked for him, is that he set a guideline and he strict with it, but he let you do your job the way you know how to do it. He didn't try to tell you how to do your job.
That's right. No micromanaging, and just trusting. And you have to, otherwise.
And that happens too often. I think you're a wise person.
Thank you. Thank you. I've been on the planet a long time.
Well, it sounds like you've acquired a lot of wisdom. Okay, is there any final comments you'd like to make before we close?
Yes. I encourage everyone to share and spread this podcast. This is the book. It might glare a little bit, but if you go to Amazon.com, type in Rangaves, Rangaves, and it's The Adventures of Rosie Posey Papillon. And please make it an Amazon #1. And the charity will be very happy.
That is super. And I encourage all of our readers to be sure to go to Diana's website, and also to explore the universe through books.
Thank you.
Goodbye for now.
Goodbye, and thank you.